everybody, it's Kara at Sedgwick County Zoo, and this afternoon for Facebook Live, I decided to come to the Prairie Dog exhibit. I feel like prairie dogs, they are not appreciated enough. They're actually a keystone species of the shortgrass prairie, and we're going to turn around and take a look at some of their antics today. You can see the main reason I wanted to come over is because the babies are up and active. And of course they've all gone back down. Oh no, I see one now. Here comes a prairie dog baby. You can just barely make it out over there in the corner. And this is the time of year that the prairie dogs start bringing their babies up to start getting solid food and exploring around them and just starting to get a lay of the land so that they can become part of the colony. Now each one of these holes you see actually has an entrance and an exit, but most of them are connected. They're lived in by family groups. There's another baby out there. It's so hard to film and watch the babies. So there's some more babies, and they have a lot of important functions on the prairie. First and foremost, they serve as food for a lot of animals. I know that's not the way we often think of things, but these guys actually are food for coyotes, raptors like eagles, if one is passing over, owls, if they happen to be active during the day, and of course hawks, which is why we have the mesh above, because aerial predators are so dangerous to these guys. But they have some ways to deal with that, and one of the ways they deal with that is by watching for shadows. And if they see a shadow overhead of a bird, then they'll call to each other and everyone will go down into their hole. They also, sometimes during peak times of raptor flight, they'll stay in their burrows on cloudy days because they just can't see them. And they're always fun to watch because they're always up to something. And today, there was one right in front of where I'm at right now who was not thrilled that I was here and thought that it was rude that I was interrupting their afternoon snack of sweet potatoes. But here's one here. These guys also, their burrows serve an important function for the prairie, many actually important functions for the prairie. They offer homes because prairie dogs are kind of like the construction workers of the prairie. What they do is they dig holes, they dig their burrows, which are not just straight down, they go down and then over for quite a ways. And then they chomp all the grass down around that, and then they move and they dig a new burrow, and that leaves that old burrow open to other animals. Think of animals like burrowing owls and snakes and turtles. Lots of animals can be found in prairie dog burrows. There's some calling over there. They have several different calls, and scientists have actually figured out that they have a pretty complicated language. And that language they use to tell each other about things that are going on. So it may just sound like a yip or a bark to us, but if you're a prairie dog, you're going to understand what they're saying. And one of the things that'll really make a prairie dog yip, like that one that was on cue, is a black-footed ferret. And we do not have black-footed ferrets at the zoo, but I do have a close approximation of a black-footed ferret. It's this stuffed animal right here. So it looks a lot like the ferrets that people keep as pets, but these are wild animals that can be found living in prairie dog towns because their main source of food is a prairie dog. And they will actually use their burrows as homes, and then they will eat the prairie dogs. They go on hunt for them at night. These black-footed ferret are probably the most endangered mammal species in all of North America. It's okay, I'm done with it. You guys can play with it. And so the reintroduction of black-footed ferrets has been a big deal that Sedgwick County Zoo has been able to participate in. There's several places, several sites in Kansas where black-footed ferrets have been released, and we get to go out and survey those each year, usually twice a year, and do some real hands-on conservation work where they look at the black-footed ferrets, they trap them, and they read their microchips, they give them any vaccinations they need, and do a quick exam on them while they're anesthetized or they're sleeping, because they are all claws and teeth. They would not like that. So then they track the health of those populations that they've released black-footed ferrets, and we can tell if new ones are being born in the wild. So some years we get great news, some years we don't get such great news. It just depends on the year. And there's things that can influence black-footed ferret populations, like the number of prairie dogs that are available to eat. But also things like canine distemper can be a problem for black-footed ferrets because they can catch that from our domestic dogs and it makes them quite sick, so they also vaccinate against that. Now I'm going to pan over here. Now, maybe I'm not, because now I can see. It's hard for me to see the screen when I'm talking in the sunshine, but now I see I am locked on some babies. So you guys did get to see some babies today. Pan over here. Now we want to remind you that we are open to members only right now until the 21st, and then we open up to the general public. But there is timed ticketing, so it's going to require a little bit of advanced planning for you. You're going to have to sign up and get a ticket. Members, of course, you don't have to pay for your tickets, but you can do all of the reservation of tickets at scz.org. And also, we have made a very hard decision that was to cancel our in-person summer school classes for the month of June. That was not a decision that was made lightly, but we are on task to get some new options out to you that are a little different than in the past, and we are excited to see what you think, and we're excited to see you out at the zoo. We've been really lonely. So please remember, even though we're not closed anymore, of course we're still caring.